Welcome back to the Bernard Lee Poker Show. We are talking with recent WPT Choctaw main event champion, but we are also talking with a three-time WSOP bracelet winner. His third came last year in the $10,000 short deck no limit hold'em for almost $200,000. His first came in 2010 when he won the $5,000 pot limit Omaha. His second was a few years ago during the 3,200 online high roller event. We are talking none other than Chance Kornuth, who is also founder of Chip Leader Coaching, clcpoker.com, if you are interested in more information about that. Chance, how important, it was over a decade ago that you won your first, but how important to you was it to have a bracelet? You know, some people talk about it like it's all about the money. I don't really care. Other people are like, it was my lifelong goal coming into poker. What did it kind of, for you, put it in perspective?
It was definitely like, I still had a large money focus, but like winning that first WSOP focus one, like meant a lot, similar to the first WPT one. Like I really wanted to win a WPT this year, and fortunately got one really quickly. But it's just certain little mini goals, I guess you kind of said yourself, that like make some wins feel better than others.
Mm-hmm. Parliament Omaha, is that something for you that you work on and played a lot leading up to that first bracelet?
Yeah, I definitely had been grinding a lot of PLO before then.
Yeah. So it wasn't, obviously, it was something of a, game that you're pleased about. The reason why I asked that is I'm talking about short deck. Do you play a lot of short deck? Is this a very common thing, or was it, obviously the rules? Obviously you can't win it without knowing the rules.
I probably played short deck like 5 times
beforehand.
Total.
Oh yeah.
Total to today's date, I've probably played short deck 5 times.
So leading into the event, it was like the second time you had played or something like that.
Yeah. So like, I've played 3 short deck tournaments. I think I got like a fourth, a third, and a first. And the fourth was actually in the short deck WSOP bracelet as well. And then I've like played like a couple times drunk online like a couple years ago. But yeah, it's not a game I play, not a game I watch. Just, there's a lot of correlations between No Limit and PLO, which are my strongest games.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about short deck. And I think a lot of people are going to be like, what the hell is short deck? But just for them to understand kind of the rules and understand everything, because there are some small, subtle differences, but it's a game that is slowly gaining in popularity. But just to give the basics, and I have played it just kind of once or twice, just kind of goofing around, but don't really know much of the strategies and everything along those lines. But the 52 card deck is not a 52 card deck. There's only 36 cards because the deuces, 3s, 4s, and 5s are all removed.
Yep.
Ergo, the 6 is technically the lowest card. And then also there's a little bit of a weird scenario where the flush beats a full house because mathematically it's harder to get a flush than a full house. But talk a little bit about kind of the strategy aspect of short deck, because there are a lot of people who are listening to this show. They've kind of heard about it. Oh, by the way, it's 6-handed too for everyone. I know that as well, because
maybe 7-handed.
Yeah.
But so instead of like 1-2 blinds, you actually play like 1-1-1 and the button puts in 2. And so all of a sudden there's 7 antes out there pre-flop and you're getting a really good price. And so like by putting in one more ante, you get to see the flop, you get to try to win the hand by bluffing or making the best hand, etc. And so you're just getting such a good price so much more often that there's like a lot of post-flop situations. And like, because everyone's so incentivized to put in that one more ante, there's a lot of spots to be really aggressive post-flop and go all in and pick up, 12 antes when you have a small number, like when you only have 40 or 60 of them. And so it's just like the equities run closer, like Jack 10 and Ace King are basically coin flipping. And so it basically benefits people who are more aggressive, stealing the blinds and antes because the equities run close. And so it's a lot of bluffing there's some good live tell spots because it is a polar game. And yeah, just fortunate that, it tailors to my strengths, but I don't really play. I'm looking forward to playing again this year, but that's about it.
Well, so, I mean, what's kind of cool about it is what you said, that you hadn't played it much prior to it. Do you find that most of the players who are playing it don't really play that often, and kind of like you said, they tailor to the strengths that you have with No Limit Hold'em and PL? I've heard that a lot, that this game kind of really fits nicely with that, and that's why it's kind of
it's a very intuitive math game for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you find that for some of the other stronger players as well, same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it is incredibly math oriented, and people see that like they're getting a great price, and finding ways to enter pots is very profitable. And
so leading into this year, 2022 WSOP, what's kind of the schedule for you? How do you typically plan out your WSOP? Where are you based? Are you based in the Vegas area?
we're currently based in Vegas. We're selling our house, probably moving to Nashville in a few months, but currently based here. So I will get to drive or Uber, to work, which is nice.
Right. And then how do you structure your tournament schedule? Some people are like, whatever's on today, whatever's on.
About a week at a time.
Yeah.
Like this first week, there's a lot of big buy-ins I want to make sure I'm free for. So I'll be like a little careful in what I play the day right before it, start with the 100K, and there's some 25s and 50s. So the first week or two, my schedule kind of revolves around those and wanting to play that. Mm-hmm. But like the EV of being in a 3K the day before the 25K heads up, for example, like is obviously more plus EV than playing the heads up. So like you kind of have a lot of calculations like that in your head if you are going to have the ability to play anything you want. Right. And then like for everyone else, I think it's just like a pure EV calculation. It's like, okay, this tournament looks more plus EV based on the percentage of myself I can have. But then like when the EVs are close, myself and I think most people choose to gravitate towards WSOP just because we like our desire to win a WSOP bracelet is greater than our desire to win a win trophy or
Right. Yeah. So I was thinking totally on just the WSOP events, but you're looking at it as, obviously for people who don't know, is that there are tournaments throughout Vegas, whether it's Wynn, Venetian, Golden Nugget. I mean, there are tournaments everywhere that you can play in. Sometimes they are linked. I know a while back, Planet Hollywood, which doesn't have tournaments anymore, Poker Room anymore, but it used to have it where the day before a WSOP event, it basically mirrored the schedule, but it was like one day prior. So I remember I was gearing up for the Deuce to 7 triple draw, and it was perfect. Like a day or two before, you got to practice in a slightly smaller buy-in, but basically every same player was there and we were all playing, and then you just kind of move over. So as you said, trying to figure out.
I missed such a good opportunity. I said instead of a win trophy, and then pointed to this one, but I should have been like, instead of a win, Bellagio or Venetian.
There you go. All of these events.
And our house is actually on the market, so all my WSOP bracelets, which are normally over here somewhere, are hiding.
So obviously having that, so basically you just kind of judge it from week to week to week. And then I would assume it's kind of like there's a chance as tournament too, because you get deep in one event 3 or 4 days or whatever, and you're just like, you know what, I just don't feel like playing tomorrow. I'd rather spend it with the family, and maybe take my kid to the park and do the swing to clear my head instead of playing. Does that happen often too, just because tired?
Time off is very important. Like I was looking at my first like 2 or 3 weeks of the schedule yesterday, and I wasn't really sure when my time off would be. Like I'll probably just skip the 2 days of the monster set because there's like nothing around it. But like there's really good stuff to play every day. Right. And it's like the 100K is tomorrow, and like it all begins.
Right. I mean, crazy that it really gets going right out of the gate. There's usually the employees event that starts on day one, and then there's the 100K right out of the gate. And it's just incredible that it starts. What's your thoughts with regards to Bally's Paris now moving over there, being in Las Vegas? Obviously, the positives, it's on the Strip. I mean, so you got everything. Tell me why. Tell me why. Yeah.
I just like, I don't know, there's shit for parking. I just don't know what everyone's going to do. I just think like the organization at the Rio where they did it for whatever, 20 years or some shit, was a shit show. And they're going to have it at a new venue that's less suited for it. It's just got to be a bigger shit show. Like, I mean, it's just, I don't see it happening any other way.
Yeah. Well, I like you said, the parking is definitely going. It's funny because me from being out of town, that's like that, again, obviously it's, if you look at the list, it's 12th on the list of 5. Like, I don't really give a, who cares about parking? I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to be stuck in the hotel, so it doesn't mean a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, there are a lot of people who are really concerned about that part. Someone's going to come up with some kind of business scenario where park here and then I'll shuttle you over or something like that. Something's going to happen. It's got something you got to start out. Do you gear? I mean, you're pretty active as it is, but do you gear up at all for the World Series? I know some people start sleeping early or sleeping later or whatever to kind of shift their schedule.
Yeah,
you play kind
later.
of.
I started sleeping in last week with WPT stuff, so yeah. I'm already on that little shifted schedule. I do think it's important. It's hard for fatherhood, but do what you can during these 6 weeks and figure it out.
Right. So is it pretty much that you play a lot of the later events? It just kind of happens that way. So you'll be able to sleep in more. And so you starting whatever.
No, I mean, like, I don't discriminate my schedule based on start time. So it's, I'll have some 11 a.m. bust, play the 3 p.m., bag at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Like,
Right.
it's going to be a long ride.
Right. So as you talked about, you're gearing up for the WSOP, et cetera. You've played this so many times. You're a veteran of the WSOP, been playing for well over a decade. Do you still get those kind of butterflies and excitement because, I mean, summer camp, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Like, you get this, see all your friends that you haven't seen in a while. You get to have a lot of high EV spots and play a ton of volume, and like, it's a fun time of year. Like, I enjoy playing poker still, and so I'm excited to play the WSOP.
Do you have a lot of CLC students coming in for this, and do you like get together with them, or how do you kind of talk with them as they're preparing for? I'm sure a ton of them are preparing for the WSOP.
For our premium membership, for CLAI, Chip Leader AI, and anyone who buys Closer, we have a Slack channel, and all of the people in there seem like really excited and are definitely coming out. And yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, it'll be an exciting time, like you said, for the WSOP. Chance, congratulations on your WPT win. Check. You just need that. You just now need the EPT. I know you have an EPT high roller, but unfortunately that doesn't count. It's got to be an EPT main event. But if you can get that, you'd be one of a select few in the world of poker as being a Triple Crown winner. I would not bet against that to anybody.
Maybe I'll try.
If you're now suddenly it's like, oh, I got to give it a shot. But good luck this summer. Hopefully you can pick up bracelet number 4 or 5, whatever, and we'll talk more after that as well. But congratulations on your WPT, and look forward to seeing you this summer, my friend.
Likewise. Thanks, Brian.
Chance Kornuth here, 3-time WSOP bracelet winner, but now a WPT champion as well. Stay tuned. We are continuing our 15th anniversary celebration. We're going to be talking with Robbie Straczynski about his mixed game festival next week, and also talking a little bit about the WSOP. But here it comes, the 6-7 weeks where we talk with bracelet winner after bracelet winner after bracelet winner, and we talk with everybody gearing up about the WSOP. Can't believe it's already back, and here we go. So stay tuned, everybody. And as always, may you always go in with the best hand, and may you never get unlucky. Good night, everybody.